Am I audible? Hello. Am I audible, please?
Yes, audible.
Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry, due to light issue, I have to sit in the opening the door towards the street. First of all, I am thankful to Rohan Institute of Higher Education, Afghanistan, Vice Chancellor, and the administration who are arranging this beautiful program. Without wasting the time, I'm going to start. And my topic is role of ethics in public policy making. So, ethics plays a pivotal role in public policy making, guiding decisions that shape societies and impact the lives of individuals. This presentation explores the integral relationship between ethics and public policy, university of moral principles in the formation, implementation, and evaluation of policies. Policies should be just, equitable, and respect the dignity of all the citizens. By elaborating ethical frameworks, policymakers can address complex issues such as social justice, human rights, and environmental. So, yesterday,
This meeting is being recorded.
I'm sorry for the study delves into the theoretical foundation of ethical policy making, highlighting key philosophies and their application in real-world scenarios. Ultimately, the integration of ethics in public policy making not only fosters trust and transparency, but also promotes the well-being of society, ensuring that decisions serve the common good and reflect societal values. The keywords are ethics, public policy, moral principles, social justice, human rights, environmental sustainability, policy formation, policy implementation, policy evaluation, and ethical framework. So, what are the objectives of this presentation? Number one, to highlight the importance of ethical consideration in public policy making. Number two, to explore the theoretical foundation and key philosophies of ethical policy making. Number three, to demonstrating the impact of ethics in policy outcomes. And the last one is to discuss the challenges and benefits of the integrating ethics into public policy process. So, what would be the expected outcomes? Number one, enhanced understanding of the critical role ethics plays in public policy makings. Number two, identification of best practices for incorporating ethical consideration into policy process. And the number three, increased awareness among public policymakers of the need for ethical framework in decision making.
यार मेरे को तो
And
पता ही होता है बाद में थोड़ा अच्छा लगता है ऐसे करना ना
a recommendation for fostering trust and transparency in public policy ethical practices. Now, we come towards a method, but methods can be used for framing ethical public policy making. The use of ethics in public policy making is vital for creating policies that are just, equitable, transparent, and sustainable. By incorporating ethical consideration into every stage of policy development and implementation, policymakers can ensure that their decisions serve the common good, protect human rights, and foster a more inclusive and trustworthy government systems. Here are some steps for framing the policy for public. The first step is establish clear ethical guidelines. It involves 2 points. Number one, develop ethical principles. Outline core ethical principles such as justice, equity, transparency, and respect for human rights to guide policy development. And the number two is create ethical framework. Utilize frameworks like rights-based, fairness and equity, and sustainability approaches to structure ethical policy making. Number two, conduct ethical impact assessments. It also involves 2 points. Number one, assess ethical implication. Evaluate the potential ethical impacts of proposed policies using tools such as ethical impact assessments and scenario analysis. Number two, mitigate negative outcomes. Identify and address any potential ethical concerns or negative outcomes before implementing policies. Next one is engage diverse stakeholders. This is the main thing. And for this one, at first step, inclusive participation. Involve a wide range of stakeholders, including marginalized groups, in the policy making process to ensure all perspectives are considered. And on the second step, the public consultation. Hold public consultations, forums, and surveys to gather input and feedback from the community. So it will be helpful to make a very good public policy and ensure transparency and accountability. This is in developing countries, this step is missing at large scale. For it, first of all, we have an open decision making. Make the policy making process transparent by sharing information and rotations behind decisions with the public. And secondly, accountability mechanism. Implement mechanisms such as regular audits, reviews, and public reporting to hold policymakers accountable. But unfortunately, when in developing countries, some people criticize on public policymakers, they considered it as an insult for them and they take, we can say, a step against those people. So it should be stopped immediately. And then come that is a very important factor, which is the incorporate ethical training. Yes, this is a very crucial point. First of all, we will have to policy maker education. Yes, we should provide ongoing education and training for policy makers on ethical consideration and framework. Yes, it is a necessary to educate those people, those stakeholders who are going to make the policy. And after that, we will come towards the public awareness. Importance of ethics in public policy making through education, campaigns, and public discourse. For this purpose, we will have to come towards our syllabus. We should add this topic in our syllabus, especially in higher secondary level or in university level, so everyone could easily understand the importance of the ethics in public policy making. And then we will have to come towards the establishment of the ethics committee. And for this purpose, we will have to make advisory boards, set up ethics committee or advisory boards to provide guidance and oversight on ethical matters in policy making. And then come towards the support structure, create institutional support structures to facilitate the integration of ethics into the policy making process. And then another important topic, that is a monitor and evaluate policies. It should be on a continuous monitoring, regularly monitor the implementation of policies to ensure the adhere to ethical standard. Because in developing countries, this practice is not going on continuously. Just it is done on annual base or biannual base. And then ethical evaluation. Evaluate policies to assess their ethical impact and make necessary adjustment based on the findings. The findings which comes after the monitoring and evaluate policies, it should be changed, and we can say that it should be implemented very soon. And then document and disseminate best practices. Documentation keep detailed records of the ethical consideration, process, and decision involved in policy making, and then sharing the knowledge. Share best practices, case studies, and lessons learned with other policymakers and institutions to promote ethical policy making. And it should be enhanced to other countries too, and find out that how success they get and how much failure they have to face during the implementation of ethical policy making. And to conclude, because yes, we have a very, we can say that time strain, so we can say that integrating ethics into public policy making is crucial for addressing contemporary challenges effectively and equitably. Ethical consideration ensure that policies are just, protect human rights, and align with societal values, ethical transparency, accountability, and public trust. This process involves ethical impact assessments, inclusive stakeholders, engagement, balancing interest, and continuous malingering, and education, ethics committees, and documentation further institutions ethics in policy making. Ultimately, ethical policy making most inclusive, transparent, and sustainable policy that address immediate and long-term needs, promoting a just and equitable society. Thank you for your patience. Please. It's end from my side, please.
Dr. Vijay Kumar Salve is speaking.
Vijay Kumar sir, please, you can continue because there are some network problems.
So may I continue?
Yes, you can continue.
Okay, okay. So good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to all of you. With respect to international standard, I welcome on this great platform of the Afghanistan Kabul, that is the Hakon Institute of Higher Studies. I am very much grateful to the university and vice chancellors and all the respected teachers, professors, that we are on a platform on an international level. As you know that today the government has to launch various programs and United Nations Organization is also launching such programs. Now, with respect to the technological development, as a technology person with respect to IoT and AI, I have the topic which is related to e-governance on a, that is how to we can manage e-governance on the technological development. As you know, I am at present in Parul University where students are sitting and they are all watching you. So with respect to that, they are all getting the exposure with respect to the international standard. Now, as a global brand ambassador of the Sustainable Development Goal and also with respect to the patents which have done, we have find the various projects with respect to the e-governance. And the e-governance must use the government should use the electronics media, and today we are all on this electronic media. So the government has to use the various IoT platforms and artificial intelligence based platform. Now I am showing the slides for you and we can have the exposure to that. So we have the International Research and Development Organization, USA, India, Parul University, Research Innovation Startup University, and all through that we are working with United Nations organizations. So now let's come to the power presentations. I am sharing. Are you getting my screen?
No, sir. No. No, sir.
Are you getting the screen, sir?
No, sir. Please try again.
You can share your screen. We didn't see now. You can share. Doctor, if not possible, we have your presentation. From here, we can share your presentation. We will share your presentation from here.
I think he has lost the connection. He is trying to reconnect it.